Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy.
Listen, let's jump into a waiver wire here. There's really only three guys to talk about here. It's the semifinals of the fantasy playoffs. I don't know what more we're looking for here, but there are still some valuable names, still some valuable guys here that you can grab. And I just mentioned one of them. It's Kendre Miller. He's the first guy we're going to talk about here. Kendre Miller, I said it last week, but if you haven't yet and he's still pretty widely available, go ahead and pick him up. He should be a top ad. Alvin Kamara is dealing with a groin injury. I hope you grabbed him last week when I mentioned, so you don't have to deal with this kind of like scurry of trying to get him, but he should be pretty awesome for as a fill-in option if you need it as a flex play potentially. So there's a good opportunity there for you. Next guy here, and who I think is probably the top waiver ad this week. Honestly, actually, it's a little hard because there's all three of these guys are going to be able to step into roles in the semifinals of the fantasy playoffs here. So take with it what you will. It may be team construction based on need, but another guy here is Brenton Strange. Now, Evan Ingram, we talked about torn labrum. He's out for the season. Brenton Strange was a tight end 2 on the week. He cooked. He did awesome for your fantasy teams. 12 targets. He was second on the team. He was a top 9 tight end 3 of the 4 weeks. He was a starter earlier in the year. So he's going to be able to step in here even with Mac Jones and be effective for your fantasy team. So he's a guy that is definitely somebody that you need to keep an eye on. If he's available and you're in need at tight end, go for it. And then the last guy here is Jerome Ford, a guy who helped people win championships last year because he was such a solid RB2. He's now going to step back into the starting role officially in Cleveland with Nick Chubb dealing with a broken foot. Give the guy a break. He was getting used pretty well in this game, and then he broke the foot. He's out for the rest of the year. Jerome Ford's going to be the workhorse again, and we've seen him be a solid RB2 in the past. And he gets the Bengals and the Dolphins for the rest of the fantasy season. Both teams that are fairly fine giving up some points to running backs. We saw Tajay Spears do great against the Bengals this week. And then Joe Mixon, weirdly a down week, but the Dolphins have been able to allow running backs to pretty much do whatever they want against them pretty much all year. So Jerome Ford, Brenton Strange, Kendre Miller, 3 guys there to keep your eye on. If you need them, go get them. And